What up, people? Let's go. Let's get it. Ooh, ooh. Mm-hmm. 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 Coney, what's up?
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
All right, and how are you?
I am wonderful. Scent House, welcome in, welcome in. What's good? How was your day?
My day was good. I'm just having dinner here, so I'm gonna mute up for a bit, finish chewing and eating, and then I'll
No, you
join in.
good. You good. I just finished snacking on a little something. Me and my wife were just sitting there eating, and now I'm just sipping.
Nice, nice.
I'm just sipping, and we waiting for people to come on in. So enjoy your food over there. You good?
Thank you.
Let's see. It will. It will. Yep. That's what happens when you got little people. Oh man. So let's see. Scent House. The topic for tonight. You know what? Let me grab that topic for tonight. Um, it's a pretty interesting topic. Let me. I'll be having like random stuff. Yes. All right. Here's the topic for tonight. All right. Let me throw it in the comments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. Let's send this out to some more people. Anybody that's new here, you're not missing anything. We're just settling in. So you guys just come on in, grab a seat. Come on in, grab a seat.
Now, I just want to know if you shared someone's or you actually wrote it. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know what I did.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was unmuted. I'm so sorry.
You are absolutely fine. Look, you are fine. Don't nothing to apologize for. You are fine. Let's see. Let's see.
All right, so what's the topic today? Tell me, tell me, tell me. What are we talking about?
The topic today is the grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you leave while chasing what looks better.
Oh, I remember I actually saw that. I checked out your profile today.
Yeah.
Went specifically to look for the topic for
I,
tonight.
well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I remember I saw that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, 'cause, I've been looking at a lot of stuff lately, and people will be jumping ship and running over to the next person, and then realizing, oh man, this ain't what it was. And I'm like, sometimes just because it's uncomfortable, sometimes you're going to be in uncomfortable situations. Doesn't mean you got to go run away from the situation. Sometimes you need to evaluate the situation and say, okay, let me see what's going on. Kimberly, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in,
You know,
everybody.
that is so true. And unfortunately, on most lives that I go, I sound very extreme,
Mm-hmm.
very unreasonable, and I know it, but people don't get it. Like people would say, I would find married people in conversations of like, no, this is not working. And this is very common when anybody shares any problem, the first thing they tell them is leave.
Right.
I'm like,
'Cause it's
oh, wait,
yeah, like,
how did this jump to leave? And people are
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, no, but you should leave. Oh, I would never. And I'm like, no, actually, those who are thinking of building themselves or having a glow up, do it while you're in the marriage. Figure out stuff.
Yep.
You don't have to leave, because most cases when you actually look at things, it's like it wasn't necessary. It was just maybe, for lack of better words, being incompetent in a certain aspect and throwing away everything. And when the people are out in the streets looking for a different person, they get their attention, but it's just to be experienced. That's it. Nothing deeper.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of times you will have people will say that a lot because misery loves company. It's like if you can see somebody else be miserable along with them, then it justifies and makes them feel better that, hey, you got somebody that's just like me. They're miserable too. So, but that's not everybody wants misery. You know what I mean? Some people actually want to have something that's a real relationship. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean you need to go and try to taint it for somebody else.
Exactly.
What's up, Mama Gwen? What's good? What's good? So yeah, so this will be interesting, we ain't gonna be here for a long time. Just a good time. Let me mark her present.
Present. Here is.
There you is. How was your day?
It was good. It was good. That's what's up.
Yeah.
What you sipping on?
1792.
All right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
1792.
Is it good to you? Or is it good for you? Which one?
It's good. It's both. It's both. It's a little bit of both.
It's a little bit of both. That's all right there.
That's right. I had a busy day today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for an off day, my off day is always busy. So I had to go and, took my grandson. We had to go do a reevaluation on, the autism and everything, trying to get more stuff situated for him, and then speech therapy, and then all of that great stuff. And then by the time I sat down, I'm like, oh damn, I only got like about 2 hours before I need to be doing this.
Wow.
So I sat down for those 2 hours. I actually went upstairs and I just laid across the bed. I just laid across the bed and just decompressed a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Marjorie, what's going on? How are you? Welcome in. Come on up.
Are they teaching him ASL as well?
Yeah, so he does a little bit of it, because he is nonverbal and whatnot. So he is they do a little bit of that, but he's making more. He's saying words now. So now they really kind of just, it's like, okay, he's actually saying some words. Let's latch down on that. You know what I'm saying, and not overwhelm. So that's kind of where we're at now, because he'll say certain words. You'll hear him repeat. He won't do it while on cue, but he'll be sitting on there having a whole conversation with himself, and you'll be like, "Okay, what you say?" And then he just goes quiet. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, it's cool though, man. It's cool.
know something? You and your wife are a blessing. Y'all are a blessing.
Look,
To
thank
y'all are a
you.
blessing. Yeah.
You know, no, my response used to be, well, you know, I kind of, and like now I just get to the point where I just say,
Just
thank
thank
you.
you.
I just get
Hmm.
just thank you.
And leave it
You know,
right there.
yeah. What's up, Madre? How was your day?
What's going on, you guys? My day is
Hey,
good.
Beth.
Thank you for asking. How about you all?
Oh, the week is almost over.
Right.
Man,
The
ugh.
month is almost over. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
September is what, Tuesday?
September is Tuesday, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Tell me this year it hasn't gone.
man. This year
Oh,
is
goodness.
going,
It has come and gone.
man. Look, I'm here for it. So
Big up to Miss Dolly Parton.
I know, man. That look, her and I got the same. Our birthday is the same day.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You know,
We lost
I
Tim
love
Curry
somebody.
too. Rocky Horror Show.
I couldn't think of his name.
That's what it
Yeah,
Yes.
was.
Tim
Yeah,
Curry. Yep. Lost him too
man.
today.
Man.
In the
Mm-mm-mm.
words of Medea, folks are dying, ain't never died before.
Right.
Please.
That is funny. I didn't know about the other one. What's his name again?
Tim
Tim
Curry.
Curry.
Oh,
You probably
wow.
know him from, he was in Home Alone. He's famous for Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Rocky
yeah.
Horror
Oh,
Show.
yeah.
That's what he's famous for. So yeah,
Hmm.
Wow.
he's gone too.
Yeah, he's
But
from
he's
the
been
UK.
battling for years. He's been battling for years.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, you take him back. He was you take him from the Rocky Horror the horror show, but he was in It, the original It.
Oh, that's right.
He was in the original It, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
And he's done some things.
he did.
He's
You
done
know
some things.
that scary movie, Annie. Um, yeah, he was in quite a bit of stuff, man.
And let's not talk about his Broadway career.
Oh
He
my
did
God,
Broadway too.
he did Broadway. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's life is short. And every time you turn around, you gotta appreciate it more and more
more and
and
more,
more and
man.
more.
Yeah. Because I was looking at with Dolly, like even Dolly's husband had just passed like a year
Two,
prior.
yeah, like was it a year or 2 years, right? Like he
I think it was
recently
like
left.
last year.
That's what I thought it was last year. Somebody said it was 2, but I don't know. Time
Interesting.
just sliding
No,
by so fast.
no, it was last year, March 3rd of last year.
Oh wow.
So, and a year later, that's just oh my God.
Mm.
It's crazy, man.
Tell you.
That's
You
why
know,
you
Tell
gotta
you.
live, man. Just
you,
live.
you know
Got to live.
the funny thing is, Dolly's husband wasn't all there on social media and all that good stuff, and you would
Mm-mm.
almost think that, oh, maybe their marriage is not even real. But you could almost tell how deep something is if one goes and shortly the other one follows. Like you can just tell
Yeah.
that that's more real than even what we're able to see online with other couples.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it's sad. It's sad that she left
Yeah.
this soon. I saw there's this woman I saw, American woman, and she was like, "Oh my God, you see Dolly gone, Dolly gone." I'm not going as soon as my husband goes. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Right.
That was funny.
People do
I
pass
won't
away of
do
a
it.
broken
I
heart.
look good, right?
Yeah.
People do pass away of a broken heart. They really,
They
really do.
do.
Yeah.
They do.
It is a true condition. They will pass away from a broken
Mhm.
heart.
Yeah. Especially after being married for, I mean, it was married
Over
since
50 years, right?
yeah, like 1966.
That's 60 years.
60 years, man. Yeah, that's yeah. But I mean,
That's
I also think it's also where you're kind of at in life and whatnot. Because I mean, like I look at my mom. My pop passed away 19 years ago, and My mom's still doing everything that she's doing. She just out here just enjoying life because, she understood the assignment. The assignment was you keep living.
She fulfilled her vows.
She's like, you keep living. So, whenever the good Lord decides it's time, then, it'll be her time. But
It's gonna be time.
Hey, she ain't trying to do nothing to make it come early.
She ain't rushing that trip.
She ain't
Okay.
rushing it.
That
She ain't
part.
rushing it.
It's
She's
gonna
over
happen,
here.
but she ain't rushing it.
Yeah, no, man. She over here enjoying these great grands, man. She is. Oh my God. These
That is
great
a
grands.
blessing.
She is just right. Like I'm sitting here just thinking about it. Like, wow, mom's is like 75 and she has great grands.
Damn.
You know what? The great grands also like help.
Yes,
I think
a
it really
lot.
helps when you have all those other people around who are really connected to you and really value you. I think it's
Yeah,
very important.
yeah, yeah. She check literally every day. She checks on them every day. What GG baby's doing? What GG baby's doing?
Well, shoot, I'm screwed then.
You good?
I am
Don't
screwed.
worry, your time coming.
When? I mean, like, hey, it is what it is, but
Hey,
come on.
when they decide that they want to go ahead and have them.
They ain't trying to do it. My son said he buying a new dog this weekend.
Oh,
He buying a new white Alaskan Husky. That's what he doing.
hey, that's crazy.
That's all I get. I get dogs.
I love huskies though. They
They're
talk.
pretty. They're really pretty. And the one that he's getting has blue eyes, so he's white. He's icy white with blue eyes. Oh my God, he's just so gorgeous.
Aww.
Yeah. So I get grand dogs.
Big granddog. Hey,
No
you like that?
grandbabies, but grand dogs.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. It's 7:20. Let's get it going, everybody. Anybody that's just joining us, welcome in 100 Podcast. We got a lovely panel up here. We got a great topic for tonight. The grass ain't always greener. Be careful what you leave while chasing what looks better.
Mm.
Because every decision that you make, every decision opens up one door, right? And when I think about that, it may open one, but it'll close another. And you got to ask yourself, am I ready to live with both? Are you ready to really open another door and live with the fact of that door closing? And you open that, only reason you open that door because you thought something was better over there, but then you get over there and it's not. And then you're like, I can't go back. That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Gregory Porter wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
You want to hear it go, right?
It's called Brown Grass.
Brown grass. Anna, welcome in. Coney, you said this is timely for you, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've got decisions to make. Let's just put it like that.
All right. Fair enough. Fair. Okay, we'll leave it at there.
So I'm really looking to hear other people's minds, their perceptions, and all that. I'm looking to hear.
Okay.
Mm.
So, my opening thought. I'm always doing something new. So I can have closing thought, opening, and I'm going to have opening thought. So, opening thought is this. Sometimes we walk away from relationships, marriages, friendships, careers, or opportunities because we believe something better is waiting on the other side. But what happens when you get there and realize the grass only looked greener because you were looking at it from a distance? Sometimes the issue wasn't where you were. Sometimes the issue was what you stopped watering. And sometimes leaving was the right decision, but the next situation still isn't automatically going to be easier. A better decision can still come with harder consequences. So, I'll say the core of this conversation is going to be based upon, you know, should people. I'm trying to think, like, it should pretty much challenge you to distinguish whether making a necessary decision or making an emotional decision. I think a lot of it, when you think the grass is green on the other side, is completely emotional. We are humans. We are human beings. We are emotional creatures. We operate a lot on our own emotions when we get ready to try to figure out something or make a move on something. The first thing we normally do is our emotions. So, sometimes the question isn't always, should I stay or should I leave? It's, what am I expecting to find on the other side that I haven't tried to build, communicate, repair, or even change from where I'm at right now? So that's the question we got to kind of ask ourselves. Have I done every single thing where I'm at? Did I water this grass where I'm at? Or just because the other grass just looks so much greener from a distance, I'm ready to run and jump to that? Who knows? But of course, I come with questions.
And when they hear them, here they go.
Here they go. How do you know when the grass is really greener? Emphasis on is somewhere else.
It depends on the lenses that you're using at the time and where your headspace is. Where's your head at? Where's your heart at the time you're looking at that grass?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all about positioning yourself.
Okay.
You can see the grass is blue on one side, next thing you know, the grass is green. So it depends on what you're looking at. It depends on where you are. It's an art of communication. Did you receive? Right. It's all about perspective. It's like, did you receive that information, and where was your head at the time you received the information?
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, based on perspective alone, you can't. You'll never know unless you experience it.
Okay. So I guess the question goes, even if you experience it, what is the determining factor that makes you really want to go and experience it? Thank you for the heart, me sis.
Lack of patience.
Okay. So how do we combat that? By having patience with what we already have. Because what's wrong with having patience to invest in what we have? Or is this a decision that we make because we have already watered it and tried?
I think it's capacity. Yeah, it's capacity. How much you were able to water it, how much you were able to put in, and the time, the tilling, the nurturing. It's capacity. So when you feel like you've reached your capabilities capacity, then I think that's what makes anyone's grass look, more appealing than yours, because now I don't have the desire to do anything else here. It's not gonna work. It doesn't look healthy.
Okay. I like how you put that, when you said, about having that capacity, that's a self-reflection of knowing what you really can and cannot do. Topic for tonight is going to be, the grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you leave while chasing what looks better. Anybody that's just joining us, 100 podcast, welcome in.
Because the hell you know is not like the hell you don't know.
Right, right.
You know, I mean, sometimes it's better to
What's up, India? Welcome in.
work with something you've invested time in as
Hmm.
opposed to starting new somewhere else, you know.
Right. So, in other words, deal with the quote unquote the evil that you know versus the evil you don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got you.
Just because it's shiny doesn't mean it's good for you. Just mean it's good
I,
to you doesn't mean it's good for you.
right. I got that. I got that. India, welcome in. What's good? What's good? Okay. I think we got that. Anybody else want to add anything before we go to the next one?
I do. So
Okay.
to me, this sometimes we get stuck in fear, and
Mm,
for the fear of growth, we start glamorizing some things that are not aligned. I think when it comes to looking at whether to jump ship, and go to where the grass looks greener, I think the grass being greener is just alignment in value system, like core values, and then focus on being the right person.
okay.
Not that the other person is going to change or do whatever. Like, it's your life journey, and you're doing it with this person, and you're looking at how can I be a better person for myself and for the people around me, whether they take it or don't. You can pour into yourself, I think, with that mind. But sometimes when you're not aligned, when you're not
Hmm.
aligned with the person you're with, then to validate for that grass is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky. It's more bumpy.
Okay.
And I've seen sometimes where people like are trying to be the right partner or the right husband or the right wife, and in the end, they're the ones who are left alone, and the person actually jumps ship. The one
Right.
who was, yeah. So it's a slippery slope. It is.
Okay. What's up, Elle? What's good, sis? Welcome up. Welcome up.
Hey, I have a very different perspective.
Okay. What you thinking?
For me, the greener grass is me. So therefore, if I'm in a relationship and that person is not treating me well, they're not honoring me, they're not respecting me, I'm not gonna jump
Thank you,
ship
brother.
for green. I'm not gonna leave for greener pastures for any other greener pastures other than myself. I am the green. I'm going to jump and I'm going to run to chase the green pastures that I was before he took me into them weeds and all that dry ass grass.
Mm. Well, there we go.
The
I
greener
like that.
pastures is myself. And I want to say, I love you and I want to be around you, but I cannot flourish in this space. I'm dehydrated here. I'm not nourished here. But when I was over where I was at, I was green. We were
All
flourishing.
right. All
So
right.
therefore, you trying to dry me out, bro, and don't nobody want no dry nothing, if you know what I mean. So
I got
therefore,
you.
now I'm gonna run for them greener pastures, which is myself.
Okay.
Them other
Yeah.
pastures, well, you don't know if it's green or not. You don't know what the hell in that soil. I know what's in the soil that's within me.
All right. I think you just answered Coney's question.
But you know what? That's a funny thing when I think about. And like I said, I might be saying what I'm saying, but I'm also listening and taking in what everybody's saying. I think it's a problem when, and I face this personally, where I know how to be a green grass when I'm by myself, but it's about learning to be the greener pasture in relationship dynamics. That is something I think as ladies we struggle with. We know how to glow. We know how to do bastet. What's that dance where you go down?
Which one?
Whatever. Yeah, yeah, whatever. We know how to do that solo, but I think when it comes to relationship skills, we lack and we don't realize it, and we revert to, oh, I was green when I was by myself, but how can we be green in a dynamic? I think that is what I'm trying to like hone into. And now the question that I'm not sure about is, can you bloom where you're planted if the person is you're not aligned with them? Or do you only have to find someone who you're aligned with in core values? That I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if I'm overcomplicating it, but I will listen to learn as well.
So I think when it comes down to when you first starting to develop something and build something with someone, right? There's a period of time, and I don't think there's a cap on that period where you're always learning each other, right? I think that while you're learning each other, there's a point where you also can realize that you're really figuring out whether this person can be your person or not. Because this is where you figure out a lot of things about, compatibility, right? And that's not something that just happens overnight. We are all individuals, we're all different, we all do our own things, and it just sometimes things do take time. I think Mama Gwen said it earlier, is patience. You have to see where your patience is at and really evaluate that situation to see whether patience is something that is deemed necessary in this particular season, in this particular relationship. And then also, do you have the capacity to have that level of patience? If any of that makes sense.
Yes. And if I may add, so in a relationship, right? I like to think of it this way, since we're using this analogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can lay down seeds and sod, right?
Okay.
We can lay down fertilizer.
Okay.
But that seed and sod is not going to flourish without water. Right. And vice versa. You can lay down seeds and sod and give it water, but if it doesn't have the fertilizer, you're going to have one sad looking lawn. It takes partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally recognizing that you can't do it by yourself. But if you have a partner that's not willing to pour into you, that's not willing to speak life into you, that only wants to drain you, then yeah, you can't be green in that relationship. It'll never happen. You always gonna go yellow. You're always gonna go yellow.
I got you.
You really have to. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't. It don't matter how hard you try. If the other person is not on board, then it's just not going to work. And then you can go ahead and test that soil all you want. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the soil will be fruitful, but sometimes it won't be.
I got you.
Sometimes it won't be. And even if they try to sprinkle you a little bit with water, that breadcrumbing thing, they try to do a little bit of that. If that soil ain't no good that you planting in, it don't matter if you a good plot of sod, you still not gonna take, because the soil is spoiled. It's not alive.
Right.
You need a partner that's gonna speak life into you. And that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is recognizing who you're with, how you feel, and if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, exit stage left. If it does, then okay, do you, boo. I think a lot of times we want to put too much responsibility on the other person. We have to hold accountability for our own actions and say, hey, listen here. I don't like the way you're treating me. You can give opportunities, but if it's not up to par for you, don't expect them to leave you. You need to leave. Take power in that and choose the greener pasture, which is you.
That's right. Welcome in, everybody. 100 podcast. Got a great little topic. Got a great panel up here. Topic for tonight is the grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you leave, chasing what looks better. So I'm gonna push it on. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna welcome India up. Welcome in, India. So the next question. Are people leaving relationships too quickly because they believe they have unlimited options?
That depends on the age bracket you're talking about.
I don't know if it's a different. I don't think it's an age bracket, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I think at any age, you can still have a whole lot of options.
I think that I want to say this sensitively. I think that as people get older, sometimes people think that they have more options than what they actually have, because they haven't relinquished who they used to be and haven't embraced who they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, that can negatively impact the realization of, do you have unlimited options or not? No, you might still have a lot of options, but unlimited, not so much. Nonetheless, if you are actually in a realistic state and realize where you are in life, and you say, yeah, I might got some options, but are those options really worth it? Like, are you willing to, really test the waters in that? Yeah, I think that would be a fool if you have a good thing to do so.
I kind of disagree. And I disagree off the basis of if we're speaking about if there's some type of discourse that's happening, right? If there's some type of something that you're not pleased with about your mate, and I could see the delusion of not willing to work on things. But when it's something that when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Because you need to be happy with the person whether they change or not. And a lot of times people go into relationships hoping to change somebody or hoping that they're going to be different. Sometimes people don't want to be the supervisor. They're okay with just their job and not taking on extra responsibility. And so a lot of times people get into relationships, and if there's something that isn't working, we all grow in life. I think I'm a way better 40-year-old than I was in my 20s. So I do have a lot of options because I know better. So because I know better, then I can do better.
Okay.
Right. I agree with you. I don't think that that's disagreeing, though, right? Because we're talking about people that feel that they have unlimited options. They're going to leave because they feel they have unlimited options. I don't think that that's the case when you get older. I don't think you have unlimited options. I think you may still have options, yes. But it's not the same as when you're in your 20s and you busting and you muscular or everything's sitting where it's supposed to be. The girls ain't doing their own thing, facing different directions.
I disagree though, because as you grow, you get better with time. Like as you grow, you still have a ton of options. As you grow, you get better with time. You think a man ever looked at my toenails and said, "I like fuchsia today, so this is why I'm not gonna get on top of you"? No, men like you get what I'm saying. But I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. But if that's the case, and we're vain as women about our bodies and the way that we look, most men don't care about any of those things to a certain degree.
No, I don't agree with that, because what I recognize, and which is why we see as men get older, they do start dating younger.
I have never had a man look at me and say, I don't like that C-section scar you got.
But you're younger. But sis,
I'm not. I'm 44.
Exactly. We the same age and we younger. We still younger. Because if a 64-year-old man looked at us versus looking at his peer another 64 or 65-year-old woman, he's going to see a different thing. Now, I'm not saying that it's not beautiful, because I think aging is beautiful. But at the end of the day, as you get older, in my opinion, you do not have as many options as what you had when you were in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or however long. And then on top of that, I do think it takes a while for people's brains to catch up and say, dang, I don't look the same anymore, or I'm not appealing. Usher just experienced it publicly. He tried to lean in to pretend to kiss old girl, and she leaned all the way back. She said, I don't want you, Unc. I'm here for Chris Brown. And that had a lot to do with age.
I got you. Let me so I know
because I'm gonna tell the truth.
Madre wanted to add in, and then I know Coney was gonna go after Madre. So let me let them get their thoughts out right quick, El. Appreciate you. Go ahead, Madre.
I'm crying. but I would have to say that I agree with you both, because both of you are expressing a very real reality for, two different perspectives. To answer the question, are people leaving quickly due to unlimited options? Short answer, yes. I would say yes, absolutely. People have this, especially when you get on social media. Social media is the microwave relationship cooker, maker, whatever. So of course you're going to have the illusions of everybody, having access to everybody. You get to be in places with people and panels and spaces and proximity to people that you would have never been in had it been in real life, in a real life setting. So short answer, yes, people are leaving quickly due to the illusion of having a plethora of options. Also to add, L, I was going to speak, I think it's L. Is it Ellie or L? I'm sorry. I was going to speak to your point.
L, and I appreciate you saying illusion. Yes.
Yeah. It's definitely, when it comes to social media, I will say, because some people, they are who they are on and off the app, and so the options that they have, because they're either a very handsome man or a very beautiful woman, they, it's new, or it's not new to have that attention, whether it be on or off the app, right? But social media definitely does give you a heavy sense of, oh, I really have it like that. And a lot of people, they really don't,
Also, small towns do too, sis. Small towns where people, they didn't experience anything different. So they still see them as, oh, that's Ben from high school. No, that ain't Ben from high school. That's a whole different Mike.
Yeah, that is very real. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you both, but I also agree with India that when you know better, you do in fact do better. So your options, it does become a plethora of options because you put yourself in proximity to those spaces where you know better. So now, you have a buffet of what you really want as you're growing, because you're putting yourself in proximity and in community with those options. So, you kind of get the best of both worlds, honestly, if you are.
Can I just explain what I meant by that very briefly? I just meant, the more I thought about it after listening to Elle and you talk, I meant it from a place of, it's what you deem important to you. I've left men for saying that they've not believed in Jesus Christ. So it's what you deem important. Like, I have options. If that's important to me,
Right.
My option is, like, I feel like my religion is very important. So I've left men for less. So
Right.
if that is, or tithing, I was in a whole marriage. My first marriage and the whole marriage, and that man was like, he had a problem with me tithing. I left him.
Yeah, that's a very real thing. But
Yeah.
and we can touch on that too, because I'm a woman of God, amen. But Coney, I'm gonna land my plane because I feel you coming in.
Hey,
But yeah,
TJ, welcome in.
what I agree with. I want to say Edna, but it's not Edna. It's India.
Yeah.
I agree with India in saying that. Yeah, when you're when you please when your blinders are on and your blinders are up, then yes, your options become, like I said, it becomes more of a buffet because you know now what you want. So everything to you, like they say, what is for you won't miss you. So whatever your options look like in that space, what's for you won't miss you, and you will have your pick of the litter. So, and I land my plane.
All right, Coney, it's on you.
Okay. Oh, girlie. Well,
welcome in, TJ. Welcome in.
Hey guys, how are you?
my brain is all after Chris Brown being Ank and all that. I lost my thought. But anyways, I am.
We're not gonna age him prematurely, girl. It's Usher that's Unc.
Oh yeah. Oh, you see, I'm sorry. Oh. Oh God. Anyway, I am marriage minded in my thoughts. And that's the orientation I have. So in this regard, it makes me think of the time I was with my niece. Oh my God, she's got like the boobs are upright, like nice and perky. Well, she's way younger, 20 years younger, and everything is in the right place. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot that happened. Like, oh wow, good for you. And then she was like, I'm a baddie, like you're playing a different game. And I looked at her and I thought, yes, I am playing a different game. One of the things I realized is I personally, but this is a personal thing, I don't value being seen as a Smeg's object and it's just an example, having like even let's say 100 people trying to just experience me. To me, it's not an upgrade. But I've come to find a lot of value, and I've always seen a lot of value in a man who does right by you, who's committed to you, treats you with honor and respect, and something that has longevity in my eyes and in my essence. Like that makes more sense. So when they say, do you see the grass being greener on the other side? As long as it has to do with men treating you like a used rubber, I don't see it as valuable. I really don't. So I know I'm putting it in a way, just in a way I perceive it, but it might not be the way everybody perceives it. So in this regard, I'm looking at quality, not quantity. And sometimes as ladies, especially when you got it like that, or you look a certain way, like you're nice, people love what they look at. We can get so much attention, and sometimes we misjudge attention for the intention someone has. Does someone have the intention to treat you with respect, to have to honor you, to like be serious with you, So this is something that I've seen most people who, when they're married, I'm divorced by the way, and I'm gonna get married again. I've got the wedding date. I'm just waiting for the groom, but the date is already set for the. I'm being silly, but yeah. So when I look at things like that, I'm like, I don't care if 1,000 men or 2,000, even more, lasted over me. Like that is just wanting my energy. Like it doesn't do anything for me and my lineage and the next generation. I'm like, I value seeing a guy who like honors the wife. That's one of the reasons I like your podcast, Marlon, is I love that you're married. I respect that, you're always like my wife,
Mm-hmm.
And the kids, they're going out, they're going to drink. Like, I want to hear that. I want that to be a norm, so that when a person is like, Psh, can I have a little something? I want that to be a bitter taste in my ears and mouth when I hear it.
Right.
So I want to be around people who are married, people who respect their wives, not because I want their attention, but I want that language to be normal in my head, so that when I do get married, I don't have that confusion of validation from where the grass looks greener,
Mm-hmm.
when people don't even have depth in them as men, or they're another usher out there just grinding on every woman they see. Like, that is a little bit crazy. That's a little bit crazy. I know I'm all over the place right now, but yeah.
It's okay, girl. You said the weeds was green. That ain't grass. Them weeds is hella green.
Well, yeah. That's why I said this is very timely. So I am listening to everybody and also like digesting my own thoughts.
Nah, I appreciate that. Anybody else want to catch in on it? I know we got TJ. I don't know if you want to add anything. I see we
Well,
got.
I came at the end of this, and I'm not even really sure what the topic is. It's obviously, relationships. Can you run that by me?
Yeah. So the overall topic, I'm gonna drop the overall topic, which is the grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you're leaving while chasing what looks better. And the question that I posed, my second question was, are people leaving relationships too quickly because they believe they have unlimited options?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I don't necessarily think that that's the case, but I mean, I might have a different point of view. I am 57 years old. So I really don't think that's the case. But I mean, in some cases, if you're younger, I think the younger generation, they're doing that. But if you are mature and you are a whole grown person, I really don't think that's the case. Or if you are of age and you're doing that, then to me, that's just, like you say, age is nothing but a number. Mm-hmm. It can happen with mindset too. So if you're out here chasing something because you feel like you have a better option when you're already in a relationship, the only thing that would be explaining that is either you feel like the relationship isn't working to begin with, or you just feel like, I think I could do better. Me, on the other hand, I could do better all by myself. So don't let the door hit you.
Where the good Lord split ya.
Yes,
Thank
right.
you.
That's
You're
right.
welcome, sis. I got your tag team.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's immaturity for people to do something like that if you're in a committed relationship. Obviously, It's not committed if you're looking for something else.
That part. And that's
we're going to have options. That does not mean that we have to act on them. I'm 57. I still got them young bucks still trying to get me. So, you know what I mean? But if I'm dating someone, it makes it, that has no bearing over me. Okay, I'm not even flattered at this point. It's like, What do you want?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you on that maturity part. I mean, I even laughed today. I was telling my wife when I got in from taking my grandson to his appointment, and the ladies was like, "Hey, hey, Dad, this." I say, "No, I'm granddad." They go, "Granddad," and they're like, "Granddad, you don't look like the granddad." I said, "What does granddads look?" They're expecting this all fully gray hair,
Santa Claus.
Like Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, that ain't me, baby. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely get maturity plays a very big part into the perception of people.
Yeah. But your body though, right? Mm-hmm. Your body plays a role. There's a song that is very popular. It's older, but it's very popular. And it's, one of the hooks is, "Who do you think you are, collecting your jar of hearts," right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about it, when I think about older men, and it can also relate to women too. I could switch the lyrics up, but it's very much, "Who do you think you are, collecting your jar of hearts? Your balls are far apart." Right? At this point in time, as men get older, there's certain things that change. Them balls start dipping lower, and they be tapping toilet bowl water, okay?
Wow.
They ain't tight like they used to be, okay? And even in your body itself, yeah, you can be fit, but I heard your knees crack when you got up off that couch. I heard it. And also, you ain't wearing that bald head because you chose to. You have to. Because if you don't want to wear the George Jefferson. So therefore, your body changes.
Please cut it.
Your body changes. And at the end of the day, when you're in that position, that's the same for us ladies too, because one of these things be doing their own thing. Our boobies be facing east and west at the same goddamn time, okay?
Yep.
And we change in lubrication, we change in drive. There's a lot of things that change, and we cannot negate that. We can't say, "Oh, it don't matter. Our mind might be incredibly youthful." Look at my auntie. Look at my auntie. I am incredibly bereaved right now for Dolly Parton. Okay, I am incredibly bereaved, but auntie look good for 80.
Ooh,
okay,
80 years old.
80. She looked fantastic, and yes, she was not opposed to a little nip and tuck and suck and lift. She did what she needed to do, but auntie looked good, okay? But at the end of the day, she was still 80. She was still 80. You can change your outward appearance, but you cannot change what's actually happening within your body. And that does happen. That does happen. And so in that, when I say that to say this, people that think when they're older and they think they have unlimited options, I agree with sis up here. Hold on. I ain't got my readers on. Is it Madre?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they delusional. It's an illusion. You ain't got unlimited options. Now you will have some options, but it's not unlimited options. And them younger ladies that you think that you can go ahead and get, I'm be honest with you, they only after that pension. They after those veteran benefits.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Okay, it's not about you.
Nah, I'm with you. Lil Mo, welcome in. Anybody that's just joining us, we always having a great time. We got a great panel up here. We're not gonna be here for a long time, but we'll be here for a good time. And the topic for tonight, just so everybody knows where we're going, so we understand the next question.
Somebody said not the pension. Yes, the pension, sis. And if you get married to somebody older. And if you get, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm rude. I'm so sorry. They said not the pension. And I said, yes, the pension. But not only that, if you get married to somebody older, we all know the rule. You stay married 10 years so you can get that Social Security too.
The grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you leave while chasing what looks better. Number 3. What's the difference between settling and appreciating what you have?
Nobody wants to take that one?
I'll take it.
Because I was about to say, I'll jump in. Go ahead.
I'll take it. So settling means that You are accepting less than what your preferences and or boundaries were.
Okay.
Standards,
You're
yeah.
accepting
Okay.
less than, right? Appreciating what you have means, you know what? I have this. I had my boundaries in place. I had my preferences in place. My boundaries are being met. Maybe I don't have all of my preferences, but if I look at my life, am I okay with where I am?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually really comfortable. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't reduce my value, but I'm accepting where we are right now. And where we are right now is, I always view where I am to be temporary because I expect to evolve, I expect to grow. So, yeah, you can say, yeah, I'm okay right here. And that's okay.
Okay. I like that. Who's next? Coney, I seen you said you was like, wow.
Reflecting. I like
Okay.
what you said. I wasn't expecting that from her because she's very funny. So
Girl, I be throwing people off because I'm funny, but I be also be dropping knowledge.
no, true, exactly. So like I didn't see that coming. It's funny how even when we know things, when we're in a certain situation, we need someone to echo them back to us. And then how do we know if what we say that, okay, these are our boundaries and this is our preference? How do we know if our preferences are just a bunch of crap that is keeping us busy and thinking and making us think, this is the right thing, when it's actually just crutches and
Is that rhetorical, sister?
I'm thinking out loud.
Okay, so I mean, I got an answer for you, but I wanted to ask if it was rhetorical.
Go ahead, please.
So, to be honest, in my opinion, a preference is not a preference if you don't get it, you're unhappy. Like you're literally living your life and you are miserable with someone because it's violating your actual boundary. So an example would be, I would not date a smoker, right? I wouldn't date a smoker because when you kiss a smoker, they mouth be dry. I don't like that. I also don't like smokers in the house. It permeates the paint. It gets into your furniture. And even if they go outside, you can get complaints from your neighbors. I'm a renter and I live in the city. So yes, we're close. But what I will say is that that's a boundary for me, right? I will not do that. A preference would be, I want to date somebody that loves roller coasters. I want a companion that I can ride roller coasters with, right? And if I wind up meeting someone and he doesn't smoke, but he also doesn't ride roller coasters, he's meeting my boundary. He's not meeting my preference. Am I going to be hurt because he doesn't ride the roller coaster with me? Nah, that's not that big of a deal. And I feel like that is where you can learn to govern what's really important to you and what's not.
Yeah, Madre, you got it. No, I get that, Elle. Go ahead, Madre.
Okay, thank you. Circling back to the question, dang, can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, I got you.
I always like to reiterate the question in my answer, but go ahead.
What's the difference between settling and appreciating what you have?
Yes. Okay. So, Y'all know I love words. and y'all know words mean things. And so when I hear the question, settling, which Elle hit it right on the head, by saying that you're essentially self-sacrificing. You're looking at something that's below your preferences, below what you want, and you are, by definition, accepting whatever it is that you have, right? So then looking at the definition of accepting is tolerating. But you're using a free will to tolerate whatever it is that you're choosing to tolerate. You're choosing that thing. So in a sense, I would say that they are one and the same. The only slight difference is with settling, it's not what you wanted. Mm-hmm. With accepting, you can agree. You can agree to almost disagree. However, with settling, and that's the slight difference, with settling, it's not what you wanted at all. No way, shape, or form. I'm just like, you know what? This is as best as I can get it. That's that.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to disagree.
And that's okay. I'm just going by definition of the word.
Yeah, definition of the word. Because I think when settling, right, I think we put so much emphasis on settling as a bad thing. I think settling is a good thing. Like, for example, if I'm settling for somebody who treats me good versus somebody who treats me good versus someone who, and this person may not be this Instagram star, that's a 10 or a 12, but this person may treat me good, that's a nice 8. So even though I may say, oh, I want this 10 or this 12, I'm going to settle for this 8 because this 8 is treating me good. This 8 is someone who values what I say, someone who adds to my happiness, someone who's adding something of value to my life. That 10 or that 12 will be taken away from me. You know what I'm saying? So I think settling I think we put a lot of thought into it, and I think a lot of people look at settling as a bad thing. I think settling is a good thing, for that individual, because I would rather settle for someone that's going to treat me good, that I know I can build with, than to settle for someone that is treating me bad, that I know I'm going to have complications building with. Just in my opinion. You know what I mean?
This is what I would say to that in response, is that you are conflating the two of your question. You're conflating settling and accepting. So what you're describing is accepting.
Well, it was actually settling and appreciating.
I'm sorry, and appreciating. So okay. even with that, right? So when you are appreciating something, you are embracing it. And by definition, when you're embracing it, you're welcoming it. This is something that you want.
Right.
So if I'm appreciating it, then I want it in my life. If I'm settling for it, I don't want it in my life. However, I'm going to tolerate it for my comfort, for my pride, for my whatever. But it's not something that I want with my whole heart.
But if you don't want it with your whole heart, then that's going to lead you to having. That means you're always going to be sitting there, based upon how you're saying. That means I'm always going to be sitting there with one foot out the door.
No, it won't.
when I say you're not going to be able to embrace it or appreciate it with your whole heart because it's not something that you wanted. It was below your boundaries. It was below your standards. You settled for it.
Why
But what you appreciate, if you appreciate it, you ain't got one foot out that door. You
Why
appreciate
settle
what
it
you
and
have.
keep making more problems?
You wouldn't be able to appreciate it because you settled for it.
Okay,
No, I'm
but
not
why
talking
is you
about the
settling to
settlement.
create more problems?
I don't agree with that. I think I can settle for something and still appreciate it.
So I think that you can settle for things and appreciate the things that you actually like about it, but there's still a void.
Yeah.
But why
Because you're
settle
self-sacrificing.
and create more problems?
But what I will say is, you can be with somebody that actually checks
That
off
you
all
actually appreciate.
that you truly appreciate. Yes, sis. So I'm not gonna say, okay, well, I appreciate the fact that, when I come home, you shut the fuck up. Oh, can I cuss, bro? You know I have a problem with that. I'm sorry. When I come home, you don't talk to me. Okay? I appreciate that. When I come home, dinner's ready. I appreciate that. However, your boundaries that you set and you're not standing 10 toes down on is, I want somebody that's gonna go ahead and get right. They're gonna do the sloppy toppy and they don't want to do it. Right? Or then at that point, I want somebody that's gonna go ahead and pack me lunches every day. And they're not gonna do it.
If you we're using the word, I think when you're saying, so let me back up for a second. I don't think those are boundaries. I think those are preferences. Boundaries.
So for a lot of people, they are boundaries.
I don't.
Yeah, for a lot of people, they are boundaries. For a lot of people, they say if we're not sexually compatible, then I can't be with you. That would be a boundary. No,
that's a preference. Boundaries are
that's a boundary.
Think of a boundary, like when I think
it's
of
a boundary for me. I broke up with a man because I knew we
protection.
weren't sexually compatible.
Yeah. Boundaries are protection for you.
Boundaries are protection. I don't think just because you're not sexually compatible
boundaries
with someone that
aren't
you're
just
protecting yourself.
No, boundaries aren't just about protection. Boundaries, well, actually, let me say it like this. It's not just about, I do believe it involves protection, but boundaries can mean I am a sexual being, and if I'm with someone and they're not down for my lifestyle and then they judge me for my lifestyle, that's a boundary.
That's not a boundary. That's a standard and a preference.
Yeah, standard is a boundary.
So here I'm gonna give you types of boundaries. So let's hear this real quick, and then we circle back. So here's the types of boundaries. You have physical, which is protecting personal space, body, comfort with touch. You have emotional, which is safeguard your mental well-being and separate your feelings from others' reactions. There are time boundaries, control how you allocate your hours and prioritize your schedule. You have material. You set rules regarding the use of sharing of your money and belongings. And then you have sexual. Ensure clear consent and mutual comfort regarding intimacy. So I'm trying
regarding intimacy. That's where it falls in. Mutual comfort regarding intimacy. Yeah. It's mutual comfort regarding intimacy. So therefore, if I'm comfortable in a certain space, and then I bring it to you, and you say I'm not comfortable here, but then You tell me why, and then you want to turn around and judge me. Why are you comfortable there? Why this and that? Is that not attacking my sexuality? Is that not attacking my comfortability in my space?
Okay.
So my question to you with that then is, what would be the boundary?
Because if I tell people, hey, I have a FetLife account. And when I left my ex for this, I wanted to go to a glow in the dark paint party that I saw on FetLife. That motherfucker didn't want to go. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I be trying, but
welcome up, cuz D-Nice.
He didn't want to go, and I said, okay, well, we can recreate it at home. And he didn't want to recreate it at home. I had everything in the Amazon cart. We was ready to go. But if you're going to judge me for the things that I like to do in a relationship, now you're crossing my boundary. I want to feel safe in my sexuality.
But take it back to the question though. I get where you're going, okay? I appreciate where you went. But the question was, so we're already in.
Not questioning, judging, Coney. I do see your questions down there. Not questioning, judging.
The difference between selling and appreciating what you already have. That was the question. So it's something that you already have. I guess that's why I'm kind of going where we're going with it, because this is something that you already have, not something you're trying to build. You already got it. Remember, the whole topic is talking about whether the grass is greener on the other side. So now it comes that question of appreciating, whether the difference between selling and appreciating what you have. Does that make that? Do you feel where I'm going at now? Is what you already have. What's the difference between appreciating what you have, between selling and appreciating what you have?
So appreciating you're building upon it, you're welcoming it, you're embracing it. You are even the ups, the downs, the differences, you're embracing all of that. You're welcoming it. You're working through it. This is something that I'm taking time for. I'm passionate about it. I'm patient with it. I handle it with care because it's of value to me. That's appreciation. And then settling for it. I didn't want this, but I'm tolerating it. You said you want to go to the movies. I guess I'll call off of work. It's something where you feel like I have to sacrifice for this thing because I really don't want to do it, but I'll sacrifice. And even in sacrifice, it can be a slippery slope with that, because if you love somebody and you're appreciating them, it wouldn't be a sacrifice. It's not considered a sacrifice. I'm doing it because I want to do it. It's not a sacrifice. I'm not losing anything in comparison. But if I'm settling for it, this is a sacrifice because I would rather be doing this than being here with you. So I think we glamorize the word settling, because when we're getting married and you hear, oh, I settled down. Oh, he was finally ready to settle down. She was finally ready to settle down. We glamorize it. But by definition, settling is this is something that was below my standards. I'm tolerating it because I feel like, for whatever reason, I don't have any other options, right? That's an example. But I'm settling for it because of whatever reason, for my pride, for companionship, for whatever I'm getting out of the deal. I'm tolerating this for whatever I'm benefiting out of the deal. If a man were to tell me he settled for me, that is not a compliment. No. I'm sorry.
I hear you completely. I'm laughing over here because it's funny how this topic, unintentionally but intentionally, segues into tomorrow's topic. I'm over here just dying laughing because I can't wait till tomorrow to do tomorrow's topic, because I'm just laughing how all of this is going to tie right into tomorrow.
Yeah, but can we agree how settle right?
Well, I can't wait to stand 10 toes
Settle
down.
has multiple definitions. It has multiple definitions. It doesn't just mean to accept less. There's other definitions of settle, like a house settles, right? Ground settles, right? It doesn't mean it's settling for less. Actually, in those instances, it's settling for strength
Hi, Marvin.
and more. But like it's settling to provide a solid foundation. If you really think about the additional definitions of settle, that's why people say I'm settling down, because that means they're settling into a solid foundation that could be built upon. So it's not the same thing as settling for less. It's not. It's really not.
And that's where I was going.
Any dictionary.
Just because what we imply, we can imply something, but
This
it still
isn't
doesn't.
implied. You
It
can
still
look it up
doesn't
in the
change
dictionary.
the literal definition.
Well, the literal definition, if you looked it up in the dictionary, sis, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to get numbers next to the definitions of settle. It's not one definition of settle. This is where I become a nerd. I'm a daughter of an editor from Encyclopedia Britannica, and this is where I get a little neurodivergent. But no, there is no one definition for the word settle.
So she's going to research right now.
I saw she's on TikTok.
So
Basically, can I jump in here for a second, please?
Sure.
Okay, so basically the question at hand was what the difference is. Not, it wasn't really calling for all the different type of definitions. It was more or less saying what is the difference between settling and accepting of what you already have,
Settling
right?
and appreciating.
Excuse me. And appreciating, right? So, and with that being said, and I agree with all of you guys, but it might be 20% here, 30% there, 50% here, but everyone has a pretty clear perspective on what settling is. But for some reason, we're focusing on settling and not really appreciating. And my whole thing with settling is, you compromise, you give up your compromises and your core values. You ignore major red flags, and you put your personal goals on hold when you settle for people.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
And that's what I look at it that's how I look at it when you say, settling. What's the difference between settling and appreciating? And when you do appreciate the person that you're with, right? It's fulfilling. Let's get real. When you settle for somebody, that could be draining, When you appreciate someone, it's fulfilling. You embrace minor imperfections that the person has, right? Because you appreciate the person. It doesn't matter. We all have our flaws, right? So, that's what my take is when it comes to what's the difference between settling and appreciating, which you already have.
Nice. I got my mans up here. So let's get another male perspective, so I'm not the only one.
I kind of agree with the Miss Woods.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give and take, to make things right, kind of, sort of. Someone else mentioned about settling, and it's, you may not want to do it, but you do it to please that person. I don't know. You got to love somebody in order to, just to compromise, to get along.
I got you.
I kind of came in late, so I didn't hear the full, but I know it's what about the grass is greener on the other
Right.
side.
Right. Thinking about the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if it's right at home, why leave? Unless you distracted and you feel like you can't take it no more. You can't take a certain issue.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that could backfire. You feel like you're better mentally or, or what have you. And you leave and then, oh, snap. It's not like what I thought.
Right. But you know what? That actually leads into exactly what you said. Just leads into my next question. So I'm gonna cut you right there because I think where you're going at is going to actually lead into my next question. Can you outgrow a good relationship even when nobody did anything wrong?
Can you outgrow?
Yes, because it's good for where you were, but as you evolve, it might not be good for where you're going. So yes.
Okay. Who else?
Yes, I agree there.
Okay. Anybody else want to add to that?
I don't know. Say that again. Outgrow.
Can you outgrow a good relationship even when nobody did anything wrong?
Nah, I don't know. Why would you? I don't know the word outgrow. Like, in what level? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
y'all laughing because I'm slow? Or?
No, I'm laughing because
it's just how you said it, sweetie.
Yeah.
Just that's
No,
it.
it's not because you slow. You ain't slow, baby.
It's the way
not
you
at
said
all,
it.
bro.
At least not that I know of. At least not that I know of. But what I will say, you can outgrow relationships, right?
Mhm.
You can say this was good for me for this amount of time, but all of a sudden you don't see eye to eye. You recognize that you're not in alignment. Like you see things as, oh wow, I thought this was blue, but now I'm learning it wasn't blue, that's purple. And then your partner is like, no, it's still blue.
Mhm.
What you mean it's still blue? You
But
have
you know what?
outgrown that relationship because in actuality, the reality is it was always purple. You just came to see it sooner.
I just think that, like, I think about my grandparents. They had 9 kids, and my grandfather went to work and took care of the family, and my grandmother, she just was a stay-at-home mom. So did they? What my grandfather said, look, I'll grow this. I already planted all my seeds and I'm not feeling it no more. And
Absolutely, they did.
so
Yes, they did.
that's
But I
part of
tell you, it was
sacrifice.
a different time in life. It was a different time in our society. But yes, our grandparents and great grandparents absolutely outgrew one another, but they had to stay together due to circumstances. So,
They
but
didn't
the
have to
answer is
stay together,
yes.
but it was
I
logical
kind of
to stay together. And I
I
think
kind
we
of
don't
disagree.
have that. We don't have that anymore. We try to find excuse to leave or to say we're not satisfied, or the level of friends you have. If you have a few single friends and you have a few married friends, and you say to yourself, well, my single friends are harmless. They're not really giving me bad advice, but this is what I want to do anyway.
Right.
So,
What you gonna say, Lil Mo?
I don't know.
Outgrowing in a relationship, outgrowing. The only way I see that is because you tired of the situation that you're in.
Right. That's what it got
That's
to be
the
levels.
only way I think with the outgrowing situation. If you've been with this person for 50 years and y'all striving, y'all doing good, why change things? If you change, you're gonna change for the best. Both of y'all gonna change for the best. Not one change and the other one don't.
Is that a rhetorical question or is that a real question?
Excuse me?
Yes, sis. Is that a rhetorical question or is that a real question?
It ain't even a question. I'm just saying, why get out of a relationship when you're growing together and you're doing good? Why change things?
Why
Right.
change
So
things? I agree with
question,
that.
Like
that's
D
a
nice,
question.
Right.
Is that a
like D,
rhetorical question or is that a real
whichever
question?
way you want to
I
take
think
it.
it's rhetorical. It's a part of her build up for her answer.
Okay,
Right.
let me go ahead and mute. I be asking because I
No,
got
you can go ahead and say what you have to say.
No, Little Mo, if you could finish your thoughts so she could have the full context
Well,
of what you're
the thing
saying.
is, I'm saying is, if you're together, okay, and your relationship is building good, and it's why change from whatever you and him is doing, and things is going right. Why change something? Because one of your friends said something, or a family member said something, or I
Right.
mean,
Right.
what happened in a relationship where you feel like y'all can't grow together anymore? That's
You
it.
know, I hate to say this, ladies, but I think this is your topic. Men, I don't know, we don't just drop of a dime, you know. Look, I don't want to be bothered no more, kind of, sort of, even though it's good.
Well,
I
this is
think it's the
why.
ladies
I
that
disagree
y'all
with that.
decide, you
Well,
know.
this is why. Well, first off, this topic is brought up by a man, a grown ass man. But I'm gonna tell you this though. On top of that, that's why I asked: is this a rhetorical question or is this a real question? Because if it's rhetorical, I will mute and I'm like, because sometimes we do ask questions and we just want to make a point, and I get it. But if it's a real question that you're seeking an answer for, I have an answer, and I don't want to be offensive, so I ask questions.
What's rhetorical mean? What's rhetorical mean?
Rhetorical means when you ask a question, but you don't really want to know the answer.
Oh, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
have
Why
I
would
don't
that?
have
Why?
no problem
No,
with
no,
that
no.
at
Go ahead and
all.
say what you're saying.
Yeah, say what you gotta say.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So what I would say is that when you are with someone, well, actually, maybe I should preface it this way. Do you feel that people do, and this is for everybody on the panel, do you all feel that people develop at different paces?
That's natural, of course.
Yes, that's
Yes.
natural.
At different paces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So therefore, if you're in a relationship and you're developing at 70 miles per hour, but your partner is developing at 25 miles per hour, at some point you're going to feel like you're not able to have maybe intellectual conversations. Maybe you feel like you're explaining things all the time. Maybe you're feeling like you're a parent
But
versus
I
a
don't mean to cut you off, but
companion.
how come if it's going right?
Because, sir, because he ain't up to par yet.
That's
mentally.
why I said this is a ladies' topic. No offense.
I ain't nobody debating that. I don't even know why you talking right now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. No worries.
Wow.
Because I'm really breaking this down and saying that if one person is developing at 70 miles per hour, the
But
next
what you
person
mean
is
by develop? I'm
developing.
kind of confused. What you mean by develop?
Oh, honey bunches of oats.
Huh?
May I come in?
I'm
What
not
you
trying to
guys
be
I
have?
was
difficult, but
sure
what do
Need
you
a
gonna
mean by
breather?
develop? Because
Coney. Did you want to answer the Coney?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, let me
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that be because I'm low on my blood pressure medication, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mute.
I'm sorry.
all right. So that being the case, I think whether someone is developing at 75% and miles per hour and the other one at 25, I don't think it matters. In the context that we're talking about, I don't think, that's why there are masterminds, there are workshops, there are other groups and things that are happening out there that you can engage in. Not everything has to has to be like a board
We don't have to be
meeting
on the
at
same
home.
level as what you're saying.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. It's like
Yes,
you have
that's
the
true.
founder, like the man or the woman, that's for family, that's for longevity, that's for whatever. You have your other things that you're growing in as a lady or a guy, and you can interact like the way Malon here is. He could have been interacting with the kids or the wife and complain about, oh, they're not talking about what I want to talk about, but he's here talking to us and the marriage is still intact.
Right.
So it's not a matter of outgrowing the other one. It's a matter of not being competent enough to know that you have to find the people who are interested in what you're developing into or what the part of your brain that is ignited, whether it's conversations, masterminds, or whatever, and then do not rock your boat, meaning like you don't have to dismantle your marriage because you're going to start a podcast. Like as long as someone is not coming in between you and what you're trying to do and they're supportive even from a distance, I think that is vital enough. And I'm only addressing the part where one feels they're growing and they can't have certain conversations with their husband. I don't think you should be having a conversation. The only conversation you need to keep going is drop the panties and, do the good stuff.
Right, because you know what? No
Wait a
offense from
minute.
the
Wait
last
a
person.
minute. Wait
No
a
offense. It
minute.
sounds like
No, wait a minute. I want to make sure I heard that correctly, Coney. And I say that to say this. I'll say that out of interest in culture. Okay, so let me preface that. Because I want to make sure I didn't mishear you. Did you say that you shouldn't be having these conversations with your husband? The only conversations that you should be having is about dropping your panties. Is that what you just said, or did I hear that wrong?
Okay, you heard it right, but not in the context that you interpreted it. I'll give you an example. If I am going to start learning about physics, or I am going to expand myself on, oh, there's echo. I don't know where that is coming from.
Let me mute. Let me see if it's me.
Thank you. I appreciate. Oh yeah, it was. Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate that. So, just because I choose to have a PhD in something, or I grow in physics or in science, doesn't mean my husband has to have a PhD in science so we can talk about the problem that I need to
right.
solve. Like
I
that
agree with
doesn't
that.
make sense. Just because I choose to be an artist and I'm learning new colors and paints doesn't mean the husband needs to know all this mixing of colors and which strokes you're going to do on the painting brush and whatever. Like, you have different people for different things, and that is okay, and that's how it should be. When I talked about dropping the, it's just an aspect of saying
That's a figure of speech.
intimacy. Yeah, it's a figure of speech saying intimacy is the language you want to develop in with your husband.
Right. I
Won't
totally
be.
agree with that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I got you. I agree with that.
But I just said it in the like quickest way, like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
you drop.
I get
Yeah.
that. No, what I'm saying is, okay, so if you met your significant other at 17 years old in high school, 16, 17 years old in high school, and as you grow, you're living, you're learning valuable lessons, you're growing, and then now you're 20, you're 30, you're 40, but your husband is still 17 mentally. You feel that that's okay?
Okay, so the way you framed it, most of the times we think we've evolved and the other person hasn't. It just means that we maybe are not understanding the roles we are playing.
No, a lot of
Are we
times
still,
these
wait a
people
minute, are
are
we
not
still on the
growing.
topic of everything right? Everything is right?
No, I think
Because
we
it
done,
sounds like
we done
something
went
is
left. We done
bad.
went
Now,
left.
Miss Ellie, you made a comment earlier when I jumped in that you broke up with a dude. So you sound like you're a no tolerance type of female. You don't take no
I am a
right.
no
So
tolerance person.
okay. So when it sounds like, no offense, that you're not even willing to give it some time, even if it's going right. You trying to
No,
look for
that's
something
not.
to go wrong to have an excuse to leave.
No, that's not
Almost.
what it is. No, it's not. What I will say is that if I'm in a relationship, for example, if I'm in a relationship and you cheat on me, I don't spin a block.
No. You just prove what I just said.
No, I
There's no
didn't. Husher.
cheating. Everything is going right.
Well, even if everything is going right. Okay, so let me say this. Even if everything is going right to you, because just because you think it's going right, don't mean it's going right to the other person. But nonetheless, because I'm not going to leave if I feel everything is right. But for you, you may think everything is right. You may think that.
You know what, too? This topic here, it could be based on your age and your level of experience.
It definitely is. Okay. And I'm be honest with you. So may I ask your age?
Who, me?
Can I? Because I agree with this. I agree with this. So I need.
I'm sorry. What did he say? I'm sorry. I checked out for a minute.
I'm 51.
So at 51 years old, you don't think that people evolve and mature at different paces, and that someone can absolutely feel dissatisfied, unfulfilled in a relationship, and that would be okay to exit stage left? You don't feel that at 51?
Well, conversation, and communication means a lot.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna know if we don't have conversations, and I'm just not gonna know. And you sound like a woman and be like, well, why I got to tell you? You supposed to know my favorite color. You supposed to know what I like. What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody on this panel will tell you I'm the complete opposite. I'm gonna tell you every fucking thing I feel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Marlon. I'm sorry.
See what I'm saying? So you aggressive
but
with it
everybody
too.
on this panel will tell you I am incredibly vocal, and I will tell you everything that I feel. So I don't even know where you're even getting that assumption from.
It's okay. We're going around in circles. I'm gonna agree. Right now we're going around in circles. So I'm gonna leave that question alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We're gonna leave it alone because I didn't. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to check out. So I'm gonna check out on it. So
No,
let me go to the next question.
I don't want to check out neither. I almost did in the middle of talking. What the hell?
Number 5, anybody that's just joining us, welcome in 100 podcast. Topic for tonight, let me drop it back down to the topics before I go with the next question. The grass isn't always greener. Be careful what you leave while chasing what looks better. Number 5, how much work? No, I don't want to ask that. That's going to go down a rabbit hole. No, hell no.
Wow. Now he.
I was like, no.
Let's go. Don't hold back. Let's go.
Look,
okay,
now, here we go.
It's the 100. You know your little sister so well.
So, how much work should you put in to your current situation before deciding to leave?
None. Living is not an option.
I mean, the kids involved?
Leaving is always an option. I'm not a prisoner.
I think it depends on what. I think it depends on what is happening.
I need to retract that question.
I think it depends on
it could be anything could be happening. That question is like pretty broad.
It depends on what's happening. Like if you put your hands on me, no work, I'm gone. But if you keep shaving and you don't clean the sink out, or if you keep leaving the toilet seat up, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just gonna bounce for that. It really just depends on what is happening.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one here because that was kind of broad. Here's one. Here's a good one. Should regret ever be a reason to go back?
I don't regret nothing in my life.
No.
Yeah, I think that could be a reason.
Yeah, I mean, see, it depends. You know what I mean? It depends. Now, it depends on the person that is doing all the regretting is the one that caused the breakup.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
You know, you're not going to regret something if it's the right decision to do, and if somebody's, walking all over you and giving you emotional abuse or physical abuse, or I mean that you're not going to have no regrets for that. You're going to run for the hills. Now, the person doing the
Yeah, maybe
action,
so.
yeah, they're going to have regrets
Yeah.
because you were a good person to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That part.
Okay.
That part.
So
Totally.
okay, so when it comes to regrets, I think it's a little bit tricky. I don't have regrets. And I know that sounds wild. I don't have regrets. I am very thorough in my thought process, and
It doesn't sound well, sis. I'm with you on there. I don't regret a goddamn thing.
yeah,
Me
but
either.
So it doesn't sound wow.
but I have come to understand anytime I would look at something and I see that I didn't act well, it was because I didn't have the understanding of the situation, and it's most of the time incompetence. If I just look back. So
Mhm.
because I understand most of the bad decisions or inadequacies or the way we react comes from a limited perspective or coming from a wounded place, I have come to understand that it's not just all about jumping ship, but seeing what loopholes I have within myself with every experience I have. So, like, for example, if I was with anyone here and I was having a certain experience and we're just chatting, I will not be so hard on you. I'll be hard on myself on how could I have showed up better, communicated better, or why was I even in the same place? Like, why am I there? But if I have analyzed someone that the core values are aligned, like if people are very marriage minded, like I said when I came on this live, and they don't look for reasons to leave, they look for reasons to stay and grow with that, I want to hear more of them because they're coming from an evolved perception, not a perception of always looking at where the grass could be greener. Like they don't know how to water where they're at, and they're always looking for the next thing. Like, oh no, this, wow, they didn't put the toilet seat down, or they did mashed potatoes. I prefer 3 times baked potatoes. Like just those silly stuff. And you're not looking at the characteristics of a person. You're not looking at how evolved and how the person values you and how you show up for each other. And now because you're doing this project and you're like, I regret ever being with this man because I feel like doing, I'm bad at math. I want to do these equations and he can't even comprehend like minus. And when you look at it, it's like, as long as you're determined to look for where the grass is greener, there will always be reasons to leave the person. But if core values are aligned and someone is marriage minded, you always look at what's working. Okay, what's going on right? Okay, if everything you really assessed and you did your homework and you're not coming from a wounded place or so much expectations of the world, but none for yourself, then obviously you're going to find a problem in everything.
Well, that's why I always say that people need to search within themselves and get themselves right before they even jump into a relationship. And a lot of people do not do that. They don't take time out for themselves and heal themselves before they jump into the next relationship. So therefore, they're going to have triggers. And how is that person supposed to know what their triggers are?
That's right.
So right. They're going to have triggers, and you're right. They need to fix themselves first before they even jump into a relationship, and that's with anything, finances, your mental, everything.
I agree with that.
Nobody's perfect, and nobody's going to get it 100. But on the same token, like we're all adults. Like the menial things, that should be together. Like I shouldn't have to tell you how to treat me, a grown woman, just like you're not going to have to tell me how to treat a grown man. I knew a man's place, and the man should know a woman's place. So hey, this is 2026, not 1916.
That's right.
I agree with that, Ms. Woods.
That actually leads. I'm sorry, Margaret. Was you about to say something? D, you was about to say something?
Yeah, it's gonna be real
brief. Ms. Woods. I think both ladies had an excellent point.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's going to be real brief. I was just saying it, like I said, reiterated in the comments. Regret shouldn't be the foundation for anything. So if you're saying that you're regretting a decision and you want to go back to whatever situation you were just in, it shouldn't be off the basis of regret, because there's a thin line between regret and resentment. Because once you put them on a pedestal and you start making, expectations, and some people even are coming from a wounded space when they're regretting. So now you're going to self-sabotage or self-sacrifice because you want to
Yep.
people please, and people pleasing is a form of manipulation. So, it's really just a slippery slope, into a deeper hole from where you already started if you're going back on the premise of regret. So, if you're going to make decisions, be intentional about your decisions and be sure, be certain, and be secure.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
I
it.
Stand on it. Stand on it.
I agree with that. And that's also, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I agree with that. And that's also why I say I don't live with regrets. I don't have any regrets because I make a decision in my life. It could be good, it could be bad, whatever. Nonetheless, I've learned a lesson from it, right? And that is shaping who I am becoming. So therefore, if it's good or bad, it still had a contribution into the person that God created me to be.
Exactly.
So therefore, I don't live with regrets. Now, with that being said, if I reflect back and say, yeah, that wasn't the best decision, if I'm aware of some things I did wrong, am I going to circle the block? No. I'll apologize. I'll say, you know what, I was reflecting on this. I'll make amends. But clearly that wasn't for me. Because why did I do that? Why did I feel like I needed to do that? No, I'm not circling the block. I don't ever circle the block. I've never done it and never will.
Appreciate it. Take time.
I want to say some of our expectations that may seem unrealistic to others, they're not because we need to spend time alone. It's because those were cultivated in our time alone. Those were cultivated in our time of being in therapy and healing and bettering ourselves. And that's where we got those, what other people consider unrealistic expectations. So no, I don't want to live with a man who leaves the toilet seat up, because that's the toilet seat up 5 times a day, every day for the rest of my life. To me, that's not an unrealistic expectation for you to consider the fact that I don't want my naked rear end to touch the toilet water. So to me, what other people might consider to be unrealistic is common sense. And I don't like having my whole entire life built in alignment with somebody who doesn't seem to have common sense.
A question with that. So, what if they could put the toilet seat down every time, but they could never show up for you as a husband?
Why do I have to pick one or the other?
That's a good question.
I'm not going
But
to.
this
I
is still
want
about
both.
regrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all went to toilet seat. Me
D
and
nice.
Marlon are
D
the only
nice.
guys in here.
Because
D nice,
because I
please.
don't regret things because
D
I
nice,
make
please.
decisions based on what my values are.
Let them
So I
have
don't
that
have to regret
conversation, sir.
anything.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Jesus.
Miss Ellie,
No,
how old
I
are you?
got you.
I
I
told you
got
my
you.
age. How old are you? L, is that your name? L?
She was on mute.
It's
She was
L.
on mute.
It's L. I'm sorry, I'm in motion, so I've been on mute. I'm 40. I'll be 44 tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Happy birthday.
I know.
Thank
Happy early
you.
birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
All right, so I got one more question before we get out of here, right? And this question is going to be one that's more of it's a self-reflection question. Are you unhappy with the relationship or unhappy with yourself inside the relationship.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I say. So it's not one you're gonna quickly answer because it's one that you
I
have to be.
come off quick and I have an answer quick. And you know, I pop off quick, bro. You already know. I would be, and so I'm gonna tell you right now, I already got an answer for you. You ready?
Go. Make it quick.
I'm ready. It's both. It's both. Because as a whole Virgo, I am very selective when I decide if I want to engage a suitor and then if I want to get into a relationship with a suitor. So therefore,
What's a suitor?
A man.
Lord have mercy.
Huh?
Really, sir? Okay, no, let me stop.
What's a suitor? I just asked what's a suitor.
No, I'm gonna stop because I really appreciate the fact that you asked. Because you don't know, and ain't no such thing as a stupid question. I was raised on that. So
I'm not embarrassed. I just asked.
and I don't want you to be. So I had to check myself. I self-regulated and said, no, let me go ahead. So, sir, a suitor would be someone that is pursuing a counterpart. I'm trying to be politically correct in saying that now, because for the LGBTQ+ community, but it's someone that see someone you like and you want to pursue them and take them out on dates, right? And you want to get to know them to potentially persuade them to accept you for a relationship and potentially marriage. That is a suitor.
Okay.
Does that make sense, friend?
Yes.
Okay, honey bunches. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. So with a suitor, like for me, shit, I think I forgot the question. Can you remind me, Marlon? I'm doing three things.
Is it the relationship that you have a problem with, or is it who you are inside of the relationship?
Thank you so much. Thank you. So for me, thank you. I appreciate that. So for me, I personally feel like it can be both, because if I allow a suitor to engage with me, I am making a decision. I thought I made a solid decision. And then when we get into the relationship and it don't work out for some reason, for me, I kind of feel like, like this happened or that happened. Why didn't I see that coming? Like, and then I'm going to default and say, well, what was my process in vetting this suitor? And so therefore, for me, I feel like it's both.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. Anybody else want to add to that?
For me, it would be the relationship as well as who being in that relationship would require me to be. So like, what part of me would I have to shrink of myself? What part of me would I have to fawn into, like their issues for this to work out? So I'm not necessarily going to say it's who I am in that relationship, because where I'm at within myself, I refuse to go that route with people anymore. So it's more about, I'm looking at this relationship and I'm like, who I am and the parts of myself that I'm heavily committed to would be miserable inside of this connection.
Okay. I got you. Great.
Because I'm not going to ask somebody else to change. So I have to evaluate myself and say, I'm not going to shrink into what would be needed of me for this to work. What they do is irrelevant to me. It's not going to work for me.
Okay. I like that. That's a both perspective. I got you.
Yeah.
I like that. Anybody else got anything we want to add before I do my closing thought?
I do. So I'm looking at what I was in before. Like I said, I'm divorced, and yeah. But I like to reflect. So I would say both, meaning that the dynamic, the relationship itself was off, meaning that maybe I would do some reminding, planning fixing,
Mm-hmm.
carrying the emotional labor, not much conversations
Mm-hmm.
about actual important things, not just yapping. Um, being too accommodating on things that actually are detrimental to the relationship, which is doesn't even make sense, but I don't know why we do that. Being too understanding on things that actually are kryptonite or poisonous to the relationship dynamic. And when I look at how that impacted me as a person, and I think most ladies find themselves in those situations, and maybe that's why most ladies end up leaving and not the guys, is first, number one, I have the answer. We have to learn how to self-regulate. But despite learning how to self-regulate, I found that alone I'm more calm. I am much more clear-minded. And how it affected me and how I wasn't happy within the dynamic is it was so foggy. I couldn't think. I couldn't reason. And then when there are things that you're not clear about, or you can't even discuss or process within yourself, I think that's a big challenge. One of the things I've come to understand is men have such a big impact on us women. And a clear man, all men are clear, but a man who brings clarity to the relationship dynamic or marriage and is the frame for airing stuff, he has that within himself and he values that within the dynamic, I think is like oxygen. But as a lady, no matter how much you want clarity and you want to have those frameworks, if a man doesn't want it, you can find
It's
yourself
not
going
gonna
around in
work.
circles. So yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because of this, that's why I said
Right.
both. It wasn't about something superficial or like when I hear others talk, I'm like, that is so small. Like, but I hear everybody's got their own priorities. Everybody's got their own standards, whatever it may be. But I think if something disturbs the spirit in you, which is not superficial, like something on a deeper level, I think those are things we can look at, and then you can look for greener grass.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm all over the place. Yeah.
No, I got you. No, that's a good spot to land on.
I have a question for Coney first.
Go for it.
Would you say when you said that you were married and you're now divorced, would you say that when you and him first got married that y'all were on the same level growth-wise?
Nope. I was dumb and naive. Very, very confident, but without clarity.
So based on where you and him were at the beginning and based on where you and him were at the end, would you say that you both grew, even though you were ahead, that you grew the same pace, or would you say that you flew ahead of him?
I never grew. He was way, way, way more advanced than I was.
Like as far as maturity and character and stuff like that?
In terms of maturity, I don't know. But instead of understanding the way the world works and knowing, like,
But you was impressed by that though.
what I will say is this. Most of the times, not just for my personal situation, I've come to understand that men understand what's happening while we're usually stuck within our imagination. And whenever we pick out, like, that shatters us, I've come to see. And most of the times, it's very hard for people to be truthful around us.
It's the opposite for me. I have a hard time finding men that can keep up with me intellectually, and sometimes I look at them like where's your brain? Do you have a brain?
Yeah, I would say I disagree. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm somebody, don't get me wrong, I'm 44 tomorrow. But nonetheless, I can say I have lived one hell of a life. I think your life's experiences does contribute to that. What was that?
Yes.
Because for me personally, I've been old a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Speak for
older.
yourself.
I've been
What's
older.
that mean? What's that mean? You were old a long time.
It means
just
that we
speak
had to
for-
do a lot of things for ourselves. So whenever it comes to being patient with men, learning like basic respect is very aggravating for us because we had to learn that at a very early age just to keep our home environment regulated for our own safety. So
Hell
whenever
no.
it comes to men, that
you,
we have
sis. I
to.
don't subscribe to that. That's you. That's you.
Well,
all
it's
day.
different for different people, but like when you've been through a lot and you've had to do a lot of things on your own, and you have a grown man who's telling you, I'm trying. You can see that I'm trying, but the pace that you're trying at is never going to catch up.
No,
So
sis.
so let me just say.
Wait, Coney. Hold on, Coney. Sissy, hold on. And all of you all on this panel are honorary sissies. But what I will say is that I wanted to address that because I don't subscribe to that. That's not what I mean when I say I've been grown for a long time. I've been grown for a long time because I did grow up with a lot of responsibilities before I should have had them, right? And I've also had to endure a lot of grief before I should have. I've experienced a lot in my life. I've lived one hell of a life for me to only be 43 years old. But nonetheless, where she and I are different is, for me, I get into a relationship, I'm the complete opposite. I'm incredibly submissive. I look forward to being submissive. I look
It
forward
don't
to
sound like it though.
Hush your face. I look forward to being
It don't sound like it.
Look, you're not
It
my
really
man.
don't.
My God.
You too aggressive.
You're not my man.
You
You're
just
not
too
my
aggressive. It
man.
sounds like.
You
I don't
being
have to be
scared
your
doesn't make you
man.
aggressive.
Man.
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Can I close this one out real quick about being unhappy real fast? If you guys don't mind.
Go ahead, sis.
Go for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So the only way that would make me unhappy at 57 years old, right? Okay, so we put everything down on the table. We lay everything out. Okay, we're both grown, right? So the only thing that would make me unhappy in a relationship right now is if the man would not show up as he said he would show up at the beginning, because there is no secrets. I'm the type of person, I want to put everything out on the table. I'm asking a whole bunch of questions. And if you come at me and you tell me that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and that's what I'm going to expect. I'm not going to give you any type of unrealistic expectations, because
Miss
we already
Woods.
put that down on the table.
Miss Woods.
Yes, sir.
That's why I said at the beginning is based on your experience and your age and where you've been in life.
Mm-hmm.
And you summed it up pretty much.
I mean, that's just
questions.
Experience varies, sir. And I'll be honest with you, D-Nice. I'm be very honest with you. I think you're incredibly ignorant. But and I think that you don't want to hear different perspectives. You're only interested in hearing things that align with your ignorant thought process.
I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
Whatever. But with that being said, I'm going to say this. We can all have our different opinions, right?
And that's what this panel is about, different opinions.
We can have different opinions. There was no chaos until this little motherfucker hopped up here.
So hold up. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. You calling me a motherfucker like that. And you submissive? You submissive?
Yeah.
I would like to say something.
But
I would really wait. I would really like to say something on this. Like, seriously, I have been around men, and this is what I experience around men. Men will really, really hear our limitations, but it's very rare that they'll call us out of our names. Or like they'll start throwing jabs.
Not in
And
this country, not in the United States.
no. I'm just saying. I don't go to red pill content, by the way. I don't. Like, I'm very, very careful with the men I listen to. That being said, men will listen, even if they disagree, even if they think what we're saying doesn't make sense. They'll listen and try to understand. But in most cases, we ladies don't do that. We always cut people short, and we're always ready to fight.
I don't agree.
Right.
I don't agree with that. I think that's pick me behavior.
Of course you don't agree with that.
That's
Sir, like I said,
so much.
Let's-
from an
like
early
I
age.
said, we
We
were
don't have
having
time.
a great conversation until you came up here.
And on
And,
this
and,
note,
and I also
Because it was
want
all
to
ladies.
on
hold
It
on,
this
was
bro.
note,
all women on
and
the
on this
panel.
note,
Wait,
I'm
hold
going
All
on,
to
women
bro.
on the
leave
panel.
everybody, because on this note, I only have a certain amount of time, and I'm 15 minutes over from going to go be with my
Hold
wife.
on, bro.
now.
Can I finish
So
my point though?
I'm
I
going,
got cut
no,
off.
sis, I'm going to close it out right now because I am over my time because I got to go be with my wife right now. So I'm going to give my closing message and I'm going to bid you guys a good night until tomorrow. So, closing message. Before you jump the fence, because the grass looks greener, ask yourself, who has been watering it? Because sometimes you're not looking at a better situation. You're looking at the results of somebody else's work. And before you abandon your own yard, make sure you've done everything you're supposed to do with the ground you're standing on. But remember, sometimes the healthiest decision really isn't to leave. Wisdom is knowing the difference between running from work and recognizing when the work is finished. And with that, you guys have a great night. Love on
Appreciate you,
somebody.
Brother Marlon.
And I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow.
Have a good night. Have a good night,
Peace.
ladies. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Be
everybody.
nice.
Thank you.